Today is April 8th, 2024, which is exactly 10 years since the end of support for Windows XP. Of course, you're gonna see this video later because it's gonna take me a while to edit and upload it, but I'm filming it on this date. And here's a typical computer that came with Windows XP when it was new, a Toshiba Portégé M200. I've already done 2 videos about it. I've reinstalled the official software on it again, except this time I used the disk with Service Pack 1 instead of Service Pack 2. But the included software is almost identical. In this video I wanted to see what would happen if we upgraded this original Toshiba installation to Windows Vista. This computer doesn't have an optical drive and I don't have my external optical drive anymore, so I'm gonna try to install it from a flash drive. So let's run the setup application. I'm sure check compatibility online doesn't work anymore, so let's just get to installing. This is a test installation, so I'm not going to enter a product key. Not all Windows Vista editions support tablet PC features. I believe Home Basic and Starter don't. So just to be safe, I'm going to install Ultimate, which has everything. The upgrade cannot be started. To upgrade, you must be running a 32-bit version of Windows XP with Service Pack 2. So I guess I should have used the Service Pack 2 disk instead of Service Pack 1. Alright, give me a few minutes and I'll upgrade the Service Pack. And finally, after a Service Pack update, we can continue with the upgrade. You must make the following changes before upgrading Windows. Uninstall the following programs: DVD RAM driver software / Blu-ray disc driver software. Wow, was Blu-ray already popular then? Bluetooth stack for Windows and Toshiba config free. And also some potential issues. Let's see more information. Some applications and/or devices might not work once your upgrade completes. And various drivers. We lose Microsoft Interactive Training, that's a shame. And various Toshiba specific programs. The sticker here doesn't lie. This computer was not designed for versions of Windows that came a few years later. But still, it should meet the requirements. It has an okay CPU for its time, enough RAM, and enough disk space. So let's just uninstall those programs and try once more. Goodbye DVD RAM driver. The compatibility report was saved to an HTML file on the desktop. We'll restart later. Then the Bluetooth stuff. And finally config free, which was a program to configure various settings of the computer. Okay, screw restarting. We're just gonna try it right away. I can't get the latest updates because I'm not connected to the internet, and I'm sure it wouldn't work anymore anyway. Okay, now there are only issues that do not prevent the upgrade, so next. And it started. So let's wait. And we have another problem. What could be the cause of this? It's not a scratched CD since I'm using a flash drive. Maybe my flash drive isn't very good. I'm using an old one that has been rewritten hundreds of times, so it's a little worn out. Okay, now with a different flash drive, let's try again. And let's see what else is gonna go wrong this time. Something got stuck here. NVIDIA Twin View window just ended. And now let's wait for it to continue the upgrade. Upgrade's almost done. We can see that it's not at the native screen resolution anymore. But the tablet pen still works. We probably have to reinstall some drivers after this. The upgrade is finally complete, but many drivers are missing now. For example, it doesn't have the video driver anymore. It says standard VGA graphics adapter. And some unknown device here. Windows needs to install driver software for your unknown device. Probably need to connect to the internet and download it from Windows Update. And these days you have to get Legacy Update as well. But I already have the video driver downloaded, so let's install it. And we can see the tablet PC input panel on the left. So at least that already works. Here's the video driver for this computer on Vista. I don't remember where I got it from, but it's probably easy to find with an online search. Let's extract it. I don't know why this driver is unsigned. It should be official, but it doesn't seem to be causing any problems. And now let's restart. Nice, now it's at the right display resolution. And it has proper video acceleration, of course. We also have a warning about a blocked driver, but what can we do? And this is the updated welcome center. In my other video about this Portégé M200, I showed that in Windows 7, if you enable Windows Aero, it doesn't work. The screen just stays black. Well, on Vista it kinda works. Except this time, now that I'm holding the camera. Sometimes it works, sometimes it turns off by itself, like now. And I found that if you get the option to appear, and then quickly go back to the options here and disable transparency, it can work for a little while longer. But Aero still gets disabled sometimes. The built-in NVIDIA graphics chip in this computer is not good enough. So what about this unknown device? Let's try updating it with Snappy Driver Installer. We want to install everything except for the Synaptics touchpad, because this computer actually has an Alps touchpad. We didn't really need to create a restore point, but whatever. It's interesting how manually installed driver updates count as Windows updates. Obviously we're gonna restart before they start working. Oh look, Windows Aero works now, even though we're at the wrong resolution again. Let's see if we can quickly adjust it. The driver is still installed, as you can see. There we go. So now let's explore this upgraded installation. We've got these shortcuts here. These are all programs I've already showed in my other video, but let's see if they still work on Vista. For example, this older version of Acrobat. It has compatibility issues, but can we still run it? Despite the warning, it still seems to work. I won't go through all programs, but let's just try a few. Of course, the illustrations are just pictures, so they still show XP. But it seems to work. Same for Franklin Covey Tablet Planner. Windows detected that this program did not run correctly. It seemed to run correctly then. I'm not sure what settings it applied. Let's try opening it again. Oh, I forgot about that. It set up a printer driver for some virtual printer, I think. Microsoft Reader still works, but it's not going to use Microsoft SAM, is it? Windows Vista has Microsoft Anna.
in Microsoft Reader. Graphic topic divider line. You can open Microsoft Reader from another application or by opening an ebook. Navigate Microsoft Reader from an ebook cover page and use linked text to access the internet.
Still has the ebook. This one wasn't in the Service Pack 2 version. Surf here Wi-Fi access. And it's just an ad for some service in the USA. What ActiveX stuff does it have to do? Just resize the window, I guess. The user guide, let's try opening a PDF file. And it seems to work. The M200 demo screensaver. Yup, still works. Let's check out the start menu. Yeah, most programs still here. OneNote 2003. What about the Toshiba utilities? It probably won't work anymore now that Toshiba Common Modules is uninstalled. For example, let's try the Toshiba console. And of course, some issues. This is the standard Windows settings. Just this one special option here. What about the buttons on the side? Nothing seems to happen. So the utility for that is gone. And what about the ones at the bottom? If I select something here and press the middle button on the D-pad, it didn't do anything. Pressing down opens Internet Explorer. Up, it seems to switch to desktop. Left opens the thing to switch between applications. WinTab. And right, I don't think it did anything. And the close or rotate button also doesn't seem to do anything. Does it do maybe escape? No, because if I do it while the start menu is open, it doesn't close it. And the last one should always do Control-Alt-Delete, which it does. Holding down the second button should also rotate the screen, so let's try it. But of course it doesn't work. You can do it with the Windows Mobility Center too, which is still in Windows 11. Also adjust the brightness and other things. What custom options are there in the control panel? Let's see. Not much, I'm afraid. And what about the installed programs? Quite a few of them. What about the hotkeys? For example, for changing brightness? It doesn't work. And well, that's about it for this upgraded OS installation. I'm pretty sure some rich people did this back when Windows Vista was brand new. They had a fancy laptop like this one, and they wanted to upgrade to the next version of Windows. So they bought Vista and connected an external optical drive and upgraded, only to be disappointed that some drivers would be removed. Maybe there were updates on Windows Update to fix this. But needless to say, it's not a seamless upgrade, and that contributed to the bad reputation that Windows Vista got. They fixed it with the service packs, but they couldn't fix its reputation. So they added a couple features and released a version with a different name, Windows 7, with great success, even though that OS is also unsupported and it's getting older and older. Anyway, here's the updated Windows Experience Index on Windows Vista on this computer. Even with the correct video driver, the graphics score is still the lowest. On Vista it goes up to 5.9 instead of 7.9. A clean installation would obviously be better, but the upgrade can still be helpful, even though you should always have your important files backed up. That's it, thank you for watching.